Hello, it was a bit quick, wasn't it? Welcome to Real Magic Review. My name is Steve Faulkner. Before we do this, I want you to like and subscribe, all that stuff. You know, if you like it, you want to subscribe to it and share it and stuff, and check out onlinemagic.co. I talk about this sometimes as if it's a kind of added bonus, almost like a Patreon thing. The course came before this channel, and it's something that I put most of my work into, and my show actually more recently, but it's 800 videos, live sessions every week, all uploaded, so you get loads of content. You hear people discussing magic, special guests. It's just a great way to learn and improve. It's not just for beginners, of course, but from absolute beginners to advanced. So there you go, onlinemagic.co. Do please have a look at that if you want to improve your magic and support the channel. So this is the first one in a long time, and Mexi said, you know, in a comment the other day, hang on a minute, where's the comments on comments? It's been ages, and it has been ages. I did a live review a couple of weeks ago, but it's just to let you know. So Blackpool happened, then I got sick after Blackpool for about a week, and then started feeling better. I was working on my show, my new solo show, and then got COVID on the lead up to my solo show. It was really frantic, and looking around me now, it's still, this office is just a mess that I haven't had a chance to sort of get back in and get back to normal. All I've managed to do is, then I went on holiday after the show with family for a few days, came back for a day and a half and then went again. So I've got some reviews out, but I am back to normal-ish. Things will hopefully be a bit more calm now, and we'll get back to doing more of these. But thank you, this was unadvertised, so I'm amazed that anybody's here at all. Pete and Tom, do say hello if you are there. This is weird as well. I'm not in my usual situation. I'm in my kind of sit-down reviews, so the screen's there and it's all wrong. But it's just to catch up, really. And I'll answer some comments that we have here, rather unprofessionally, on my phone. I hate looking at my phone, but it's kind of, yeah, again, it's easier. So first of all, the Solo. I put a review out of Solo, which was the audio queuing system, which I just think is a game changer. It's so brilliant. A lot of people said that I said that it was $200. I looked at the bit at the end where I said the price, and it says $800, and it might have been the way I said it, but let me know if you see it in another bit. But I think that might have just been because I'm a bit lispy and the stuff doesn't come out clearly quite a lot of the time. But yeah, I think, you know, for that kind of stuff, and you know, if you're someone that works on stage, it's worth it. You know, you're not buying a magic trick here, you're buying something that will control your show. So it's an absolute game changer, like I said, and brilliant for so many reasons. This was only last night, so there's only a couple of comments, but if you haven't seen it, please don't do that thing of, you know, thinking, oh, it's not for me. Have a look at it, because I think it might spark ideas. There is something I said in the review that I was going to come back to and didn't, unsurprisingly, really, because that's what I do, is that I said, I wanted to talk about what it's done for my show. And so my show was about a few really classic routines that I've always wanted to do and done for a bit, and maybe got a bit spooked and kind of got freaked out. I wanted to make myself do them, which was absolutely terrifying. And I always wanted to do them to music, but I could never find the right music. When I did find it, it wasn't quite right. And then the routines themselves weren't fully formed with ideas until about a week before, but what helped form that idea was the music. So there's one piece, I do a Conan ball and multiplying ball routine that I used to do to You're So Cool from True Romance from Hans Zimmer, and I love that piece of music, but very quickly it tired and I thought it's not quite right. And I just couldn't find a way into this routine, and because I knew I had the power to loop songs and start routines again, I found a beautiful piece of music that was very short. It's too short, and then I thought, oh, I could loop it 3 times, and that almost could be the running gag, you know, that it starts again, I've got to go again. And that wouldn't have happened had I known I had the ability to control that, because again, when people I don't know are on the sound desk, I feel very nervous about them having that much power over the show, not because they're rubbish, because a lot of the time I haven't got time to spend working on it. So it started actually forming my show, rather than just being there, oh, I can start the music, by giving me creative ideas. No, and I think that this is just the beginning of it for me. Again, I had them in these envelopes, and I was just touching, you know, that was not the best way to do it, but even at that level, it felt good to be able to have that choice and improvise around it. So, glasses on. There's a tagline: "Don't have to press a button." I can see I can see a possible trailer. 1,000 zombies closing in. Wave a hand, everything freezes up and swells music. Magician fans the deck, knowing smile, fade to black. Yes, that's correct. Very dramatic way to put it, but lovely, Tom. I love the way he writes his comments. I played about with building something like this. This is Mexi. For myself, years ago, it was a total nightmare, so I just dropped the idea. Kudos to Sam for sticking with it and working all the kinks out. Looks like a great system. And I think that's the thing with, you know, when someone's really focusing all their time on one thing, rather than just sort of, you know, banging out a trick for Blackpool in time, but really going, right, how can I make this as good as it can be? And release it with all these you know, these problems. Like I said, it solves problems. All those things that we've had, we go, oh no, you know, the music can't loop because it's got like an outro, and I don't know editing, so, and it sort of does so much. So I think you're right. Is so much time gone into it that we think, oh, we're buying this one bit of kit, but we're not. We're buying the hours and hours and hours, and the money that they put into it, and the risk that they take, and the fact it's made by a magician, I think is really, really important for us. Someone's put, oh no, that's the spammy one, I think. What music you used to your Lincoln rings? I used a piece of music off of Amelie. I kind of, you know, I was coming back to my roots of when I first got into this stuff as a juggler, and it was very much that kind of circusy kind of accordion stuff that I used to like. So that was that. Only 1 minute in, and I'm hoping it is what I think it might be. I do hope it is Brulafu. Oh, did not expect it to work the way it does. Very nice. Lovely piece of kit. Sounds like an insta buy for me, although we're not at that price yet. Yeah, and it is one of those things, you know, it's an investment. But if you're thinking of doing stuff on stage, I think it's a very good one. Again, Brett says, you're not close to the price you mentioned. It's 1,117, pretty expensive. Glad you got a review copy. And yeah, and as I said dollars instead of pounds. I said sort of £850. It's $850, which comes to that in pounds. And I think, yeah, that's hopefully cleared that up. Right, so that's those comments. Ask me any questions you want. There's the video I made about Gazo. I don't think I have to say much more about that, but if you don't know who Gazo is, you don't know much about Gazo, do watch that video and then have a Google. There's a Wikipedia page on him, and he's had a stroke. He needs your help, and if you're connected in any way or connected to the community, you want to just put a couple of dollars in anything you want, you can do that. Again, it's not really I don't usually do this sort of thing, but he's someone that's inspired me, so I wouldn't feel right not putting that out there. Sponge ball dropper. Let's see if we got any comments on this. It's weird. I saw an ad come up on YouTube then with a cat on it, and it looks so much like my cat. Kind of freaked me out. I know nobody sees them, but they look really cool. If James Bond gave up being 007 and took a close-up, he would use these. This is Tom that's here. This is so true, and I do show it on the trailer as well. They're happy that I do that, and if you watch their information about it, you can see, you know, they're really open about showing you what it is, and they are cool, and they're really well made as well. They're not kind of, you know, they're plastic, but they're tough. They feel tough. They don't feel like these holders that they're going to fall apart. I want all of them, you know. There's a ball holder and coin holders. This is the Black Holder series, by the way. I will clarify. I'm just sort of thinking aloud, not, you know, I said sponge ball dropper, but they're Hansen Chen's coming out with all of these different, and Red Side, these different holders, and all of them just look like, you know, the coin holders I use for my Miser's Dream are so delicate. I'm so worried about them falling out, and actually have done in the past, even though it's kind of a new version of an old routine. So yeah, I'm very excited about the whole thing, really. I love SpongeBob Magic too. A great little review. Thank you for Dazzling Magic. That's absolutely fine. Thank you very much. Chris Genders, nice bit of kit. The lovely Mila for custom sponges. Yeah. So and I didn't mention, obviously, this sponge ball dropper works great for Perseus Ackermanis's mallows as well. You know, because he's got a routine in there. We have to go to your pocket, and if you don't want to, it's all there. And all of your, like I said, the second video on Hansen Chen's release tells you how to load all the different kind of things, and even if it doesn't cover the one that you've got, you'll get an idea from what it does cover. So Mila makes amazing custom sponge shoes at Blackpool that just look so brilliant, and I've seen some amazing magic done with them by other magicians as well. The new holders are amazing, very useful. Club Magic Miami, absolutely. I seem to recall there are big problems with the production of these. Seems to be sorted now, and they get great little. They're great little gadgets. Anyway, another topic. What the hell happened to comments and comments from Mexi? Hello. Right, so that's that. Let's have a look at the others. Sorry about this. Oh gosh, nothing more silly than watching a man faff around with his phone. Pete Turner masterclass. I don't think we did comments on that, did we? So I might as well do them. Not many comments, but let's have a look what we got. Just watched Pete's. This is from David M. L15YV. I just watched Pete's first 2 masterclasses yesterday. Took a lot of notes. I'm going to be revisiting them a ton. I was able to do the name divination basically right afterwards. Went to a local restaurant last night and nailed it brilliant twice. I really like the playing card techniques, routines as well. Truly genius lectures. Love them both. Thanks, Steve. And yeah, I agree. I just think, I haven't seen the second one yet, but it had that feeling of you could go straight out and do it. And someone said, is it here? No, I think it was on Facebook. Someone said, you know, I don't think it's for beginners. I don't know, you know. I think a lot of the stuff not everything, but a lot of the stuff he did in the first one, I think a beginner mentalist could practice and do. I don't mean do straight away, as we saw there, but I think that, yeah, I didn't find anything that challenging with it. And I'm getting quite excited about mentalism. I did a 4th dimensional telepathy in my show in a different way. It was way too long and drawn out, but it still played really well. So yeah, I'm excited to go back to Peter's masterclass. Now I'm actually doing it and starting to put that learning into things. Pinball Wizard 666. Thanks, Steve. Peter Turner's style is a mix of mesmerizing and bewildering effects with just the right amount of flamboyance. Yeah, I do. And Robert Ball, nice review, Steve. Check out Robert Ball's channel. And it was a great masterclass by Ollie Mealing. So, is that Ollie? Yeah, I think so. Or was it the other Ollie? I don't know. Anyway, so whammy board. No, we won't do the others. If you've got any questions about any of the other stuff, you can ask it here, though, before I go. Let me see what we got. Hamping waving. Glad you're feeling better. Thanks, Magic Mapper. Yeah, I've been ill so many times. I'm never ill, and I just kept getting sick, but really wiped out as well. And I don't deal with that very well. I'm not good at sitting down. So rehearsing for my show while having COVID was fun. Fun it was. If I had the dosh, I'd get solo. I might end up with a divorce on my hands if I get that. Yeah, I would do the thing of put a show together without it. And then you've got a show to bring it into, which is kind of what I did. I wasn't thinking of using it. And then when, you know, Sam said, he sent me one, I had a week and I thought, no, I'm going to kind of commit to that. And it must be easy to use if I can get it together in a week, because I'm not, you know, that techie. Luch, hope you're well, mate. Good to see you pop in. When's the next holder due out? I'm waiting for the deck holder. The deck holder looks great, actually. I don't know is the answer to that, Pete. But, you know, the thing, there's quite a few deck holders out there as well, but this one fires the deck out, which I think, again, is quite a cool thing. Yeah, deck holder looks great. I think for me, it's definitely the coin holder, because I do Miser's Dream, and the ball holder. There is nothing. I've made them, and they're fine, but I use Fakini multiplying balls, the silicone ones, and there's just not much out there that you can really trust that holds them, but we'll see what this one's like. Right, I think that's about it. For those of you coming to the live session tonight, we have a live session most weeks. Andy, I'll come to that question in a sec. I'm not rushing off. But if you're wondering, the live sessions are most for onlinemagic.co, you know, £10 a month, and you get 4 live sessions a month. You haven't this month because things happened and I had the show and stuff, but you know, and then you get the uploads, and you can request things for the live sessions even if you can't make them. So, you know, they're a weird time at the moment. They're like 6 o'clock on a Thursday evening. I know it's not good for a lot of people, but even if you have a request, I'm always looking for content. You can write in, say, I can't make it, but I'm having this problem. You can send me a little video and I can do that in the live session, and then other people can ask questions. So people have found that really, really useful. So again, onlinemagic.co. Afternoon, Steve. I've spoken to a few close-up magicians and they're getting more into mentalism. Do you think this is a good question. Audience perceptions are different between magician and mentalism? Well, this is the problem I had, because I put a mentalism routine in my magic show, and I knew I'd put it in a place where it wasn't quite the right place, but it was the choice of, I needed to get a feel for doing it more. I've done it a few times, but it always ends up being a mess. And a couple of the bits of feedback were that it seemed to have a different pace. It wasn't that it was mentalism in a magic show, it had a different pace. And I think that's the audience perceptions. Are they different? I think they are, but they're also very open. You know, I think you can do magic and mentalism together. And my justification, and I don't say it as justification, but in my mind, I kind of said, so, you know, as a magician, you know, you get into one thing, but when you've been doing it for years, you start looking at different avenues and things that are similar and connected. One of them is mind reading, and or whatever you want to sell it. But I think you can easily do that without a clang. And I think that, yes, I think we know that Darren Brown is a mentalist. A lot of the public don't. They see him as a psychological sort of person, and we know that there's a bit of that, but it's mostly, you know, the mentalism. And again, you look at Uri Geller with, you know, Ben Harris's book on Uri's coming out. It's phenomenal, by the way, soon. And you know, he was someone that the audience definitely perceived differently than being a magician, because that's how he sold it. And I think that it's up to you how you want to present it. I don't think there's any wrong or right with it. I do like to, when I perform mentalism, don't tell them that now I'm going to read minds, but I want it to have a different feel. It's like, now we're going to go here. And I kind of want that change in pace, but when I did it, the pace was too much of a change, so I've got to look at that. But it didn't feel like, you know, that was wrong in any way to do it in that show. And interestingly, that fourth dimensional telepathy routine that I did, the reason I keep going back to it is because I've never quite felt really comfortable with it, because I keep getting spooked by it, because something went wrong years ago, and it kind of, you know, when that happens, it can be horrible. So I'm making myself do it now, and it's becoming something different. But the first time I did it was in my first ever one-man show, which was a very weak show, really, because it was way over 10 years ago. And it was in the middle of that, and it was a mess, but I thought it was not playing well. And I came out of it going, oh, no, nobody liked that, did they? And then my friend said, no, that was people's best bits, you know, their favourite bit. I've talked to people, and it was because it wasn't getting laughs. That I was so used to getting laughs as being the validation that I was doing the thing right, that I thought people were bored. And you know, they really, most people, I think, really love it if you make it entertaining. I know I'm waffling, but that's kind of what this is, isn't it? Did you see that Real Magic Review got into Magic Orthodoxy's Top Magic YouTube channel? No, I didn't. That's very nice. He's very nice, David. He's good at that, and he does it. I should do it a little bit more, really. I have very little time to watch other reviews, and I feel terrible about it. So, but that's very kind of David. So thank you, David, for doing that. It's very, very much appreciated. Thanks for that, Tom. Right. So I'm going to shoot now. Get ready for the live session where we're going to break down my show, and I'm going to say the things that went wrong, which there were plenty of things that went wrong, and the things that went right. And I think hopefully people will be able to learn from that. So if you want to join quickly, I'll send you the Zoom link if you join onlinemagic.co. But anyway, have a great one. Thank you so much. This will be more together soon, and I'll get my head together. I'm completely spaced out because I just got out of the car. Anyway, take care, everybody. Thank you so much, and go check out onlinemagic.co.